Let me say good morning to everyone who is listening to Classic Radio, whether you're listening 105.5 or 105.9. Good. Should I say it again? Good. Thursday morning to you. Those of you who are viewing us via GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channel 20, good morning. Those of you via social media platforms, whether it's, the YouTube channel or the Facebook page, you're viewing and you're listening, good morning to you. What about GBN's webpage? That's gbn.gd. That's gbn.gd. Good morning to you and welcome. It's Thursday, another edition of To The Point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be with you until it's at 10 a.m. this morning. And it's usually on Thursday we do entertain departments within the Royal Grenada Police Force. And we have no one representing this morning, which means we're going to directly lead into our open line session this morning. So feel free. The number you call is 435-2041, 435-2041. And I certainly do know there's lots that you would like to speak about this morning. There's always a concern that you have that you would like to share. Feel free to do so, of course, within this segment. And the usual cooperation, I beg of you, keep your devices, whatever, in the background, whether you're looking at the television or you have the radio on, please keep it low or turn it completely off when you decide you want to call in and make whatever point or whatever contribution you wish to make. Feel free to do so, but with the device off. We could have that conversation over the phone. All right. And I also beg of you to limit, so we get as much folks calling as possible. You get that complaint where not folks are not getting through because one individual is on for 3 to 5 minutes at times. And not always 5, but maybe, 3 minutes get along for some folks. All right. So just follow those that small little directions that I am providing. And certainly hope all will be well. Let's take our very first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, GT, and morning to listeners and viewers. I really appreciate your effort to get to create some kind of space for us to engage each other. Really appreciate. But the thing about it, after so many years of To The Point, and people don't understand the other program, you still have to explain to people. I could see the other time when people kind of get through when they didn't expect and so on. But people, continuously have to be told something has to be wrong with us.
And there's nothing new about it, huh? You understand. So
anyway, there's quite a few things I would like to talk about.
Go right ahead, please.
But one of the things I want to talk about this morning is the issue of how we approach climate change. I think by and large, I'm not convinced that our people understand the magnitude of what is coming on to us. Because we have various intellectuals, business people, government, and others talking about climate change. But we're doing the opposite. We're doing everything. The only thing we wouldn't do is to do what we need to do. And then we're making it as if it's only the people, the international folks, the bigger folks, the people in the north. But we are contributing. We are contributing every time we cut down a tree unnecessarily. We are contributing to climate change. Even when we cause soil erosion, the soil is deeply connected to the climate. We cause a lot of soil erosion. In addition to that, the issue of heat has been one of the discussions lately, and air pollution. One of the things I want to say, I want to make it an issue, is that the government is keen about dealing with gun violence. I would want to say that there's different form of violence in Grenada. There's a violence where people deliberately spray insecticides and weedicides affecting others, particularly their neighbors. And something has to be happen. I think it was Mr. Rolo asked a question last night, and a question about how can he asked Dr. Charles and Dr. Sean Charles. And he said, well, we don't really, this is an area we haven't paid much attention to. Yeah. So we have to do something about that. I don't know. People shouldn't have the liberty to just spraying and killing people. I have been told over the years of people who died because their neighbors continually spray things into the atmosphere, particularly women who have died. We cannot allow that. especially with the heat we have. It's sickening, and also it gets on people's nerves too.
Caller, could you say it come down to the mere fact that individuals just don't care anymore?
Well, that's what I did. I mean, I don't understand what the purpose of education. We all claim to have gone to school, and we behaving so reckless and idiotic. It's something else. So we had to bring some rules and regulations. Look, insecticide and so it's not so much if you spray it in the open, or if you're spraying, for instance, in weedy side, for instance, you shouldn't spray gramazone and other stuff in neighborhoods. And if you're doing that ever, you have to do it where when people are not interacting on a regular basis. But we're doing things, we're poisoning ourselves, and then we're talking about cancer and all that. Something has to be done. It's madness in this country. And
would you also say, Caller, if I could chime in your word, would you also say that individuals have limited education pertaining to, the use of insecticides?
No, if a person, I would say in some cases, but if a person knows that they're putting on a mask, I'm going to spray a person day in, day out, morning, noon, and night. Doesn't they know that it's harmful?
Well, it's only indicating that they do have some knowledge of what they do.
Exactly. And have people who have called me, knowing I'm friends of the earth, and complain over time. I am experiencing it personally. It's ridiculous. Apart from, I don't have much issue with smoke. The problem with smoke. Other people have problem with smoke. But, we behaving like, almost like lunatics. I'm angry. Trust me. Thank you. I don't want to continue.
All right.
Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. Open line this morning here on To The Point. Feel free to make your contributions towards issues that may be of concern to you. Feel free to do so. 435-2041. We go back to the phone line, entertain another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for welcoming me. Yes, sir. I would like to applaud the present government for addressing the minimum wage issue in the country.
Yes.
So many of our workers are working for little and nothing. And cost of living is not gradually, sometimes rapidly rising. So it's a great effort. It's a great show of love and compassion for fellow men. We are all brothers and sisters in Christ, if you believe there is a Christ. And that was a great show of compassion on the part of our administration, giving us the pension and gratuity again. The people deserve it. They worked for it. It's theirs. But the fact that they do all they had to do to get it to the people after they promised, another great show of compassion and brotherly love, care for people. And that's what politicians are supposed to do. Another thing I wish I would like to address is the issue where I have workers standing up in stores for long hours. I am seeing workers working in some of the Indian stores and other stores downtown, female women, pregnant, and they have to stand on their feet whole day. Some of them are asked, do they have somewhere where your feet? And they say no. How could this be, Mr. Telesford? How could this be? And another group of workers I'm very concerned about is the female workers in gas stations. Don't you know that the inhalation of this gas could cause terrible damage to the respiratory system?
What are you by saying by the female workers at gas station and so forth? What are you recommending the owners of these these stations do, especially for individuals who are pumping the gas?
If they're pregnant, especially they wear masks.
You're recommending that masks be worn?
For the women especially, so they won't be too
so it's not, you said women especially, so it's not important for men to wear masks.
Too, just for men, but it's just as dangerous for the men too, sir.
All right.
Yes.
All right, thank you for your contribution this morning. Have a good day. 435-2041, 435. Just a little humor with her there. I understand where she's coming from. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings. How are you?
Doing good, sir. What about you, sir?
Quite all right, thank you. I'm happy that the previous caller raised certain issues there about the minimum wage, etc., and whatnot, about how people how the costs of things are increasing otherwise, I want to remind the ministry, especially the minister, junior minister for social development, of the following.
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that families will continue to receive the additional $150 per household.
Mr. Telesford.
Yes, sir.
These words were uttered by Miss Gloria, what was the name again? Boy, Joseph, I can't remember the name.
Thomas,
yes. On the 22nd of December, 2022. I promise. My government has decided to. Decisions are expressed with the modal verb will. Intentions, forecasts, intentions, decisions, spontaneous or general. I am calling on the minister to honor her promise to the quote-unquote poor and vulnerable, because things are getting tighter. I recall that more than one promises were made when they had no authority during election campaign, but they fulfilled them when they took office. One, of course, the pension issue, that was obvious and logical. They had no choice because people had worked and they were entitled to the money. But they paid more than $1 million to teachers for work that they did not do. It was to appease a group of people. Well, all right. If you can fulfill those promises, then the one that was made in the parliament of this here country has to be fulfilled. I'm waiting on you with retroactive pay too. Don't let it run up, because I shall continue to play this recording until the day prior to the next elections. Have a nice day, William, Mr. Telesford.
You too, sir. Have a good one yourself. 445-2041. It's an open line this morning here on To The Point. Feel free to call in, express your views and concerns. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning to you, caller. You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
A question. Did I hear in the news or somewhere that the Speaker of the House stepped down?
I haven't heard that.
I thought I heard something to that effect. I don't know where it was coming from, but anyway. On the matter of the increased salaries for workers, long before this was mentioned, prices were going up, and nobody knew exactly why. What I want to say is, doesn't people understand that the more you increase people's wages, the same thing would happen to prices of goods and services. So we're not going anywhere. We're going nowhere with this increase in salary. It's just a joke. You increase your salary and you go to the store next day or whatever goods or services, you have to pay more. But what did you gain? Nothing. So I don't know why we're wasting time to talk about that at all. If you leave the salaries where they are, prices may go down, because then the people who provide goods and services would realize that the buyers don't have enough money. But the moment the suppliers know you have more money, they raise the prices. Can't we understand that?
Simple logic's there, right?
Yes, it is, and that's what is happening. And even before wages and salaries were talking about increasing, prices were going up. So the suppliers and the people who provide services, they anticipated that wages were going to go up, so they started increasing the prices. Believe me, and this is.
So are you saying technically it may not make a difference in the issues that we are experiencing right now if the minimum wage gets increased?
No, if you increase the minimum wage, it doesn't make any difference.
If there's not a decrease in the cost of living?
You gain nothing, because the goods and services price go up. So what did you gain?
All right. I guess you probably gain to know that your salary has increased some way.
That's just
how the figures may look for you.
Just for saying that, yes, just to make it feel good that you get an increase in salary.
All right.
You go back to the store and price gone up, and you're complaining. Why are you complaining?
Thank you for your contribution, sir.
Okay.
Have a good morning. 435-2041. It's an open line this morning here on To The Point. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, just for the information of your last caller, please, the person who resigned was the Speaker of the Canadian House of Parliament.
Canadian
For
House
a
of Parliament.
great blunder they have done by praising and celebrating a Nazi collaborator, 98-year-old guy.
Okay.
The whole Parliament did it, including the Speaker and Zelensky. So it's very embarrassing. Canada is facing a serious problem right now.
All right.
Because they're showing the two colors. I mean, earlier in the year, they called the Caribbean leaders together in the Bahamas and told them you have to choose who you're going to support, whether you support rule-based law, which Zelensky said meaning supporting him and his craziness in Russia, I mean in Europe. So this is what the individual heard about. What should happen is that the Prime Minister and the whole Parliament, all of them, they were in celebration and then saying that they didn't know. I mean, this is awfully outrageous, and people have to look at what is happening. So you have Trump type of people in Canada. You have Trump coming back. The world is going to be in trouble.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. Have a good morning. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take our first break. It's 15 after the hour. We come back with more of your calls here on To The Point, the open line this morning. And something will be going to the Facebook page. I'm seeing loads of comments that needs to be thrown out. I will certainly do that when I return. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to the Point Open Line this morning. Let's grab a couple of the comments before I entertain the phone line once again. And let's start from here. And this individual is saying, some people don't want betterment for workers. Slave mentality, so sad. Another individual is saying, if Mr. Rollo talking about teachers get monies if they didn't work for, would the 150 will be the money, and would the 150 be monies not worked for also? So what's his beef? I guess that was I have a different opinion than him there. The price of goods and services are going up all over the world, not only in Grenada, and I guess that's it for that part of the segment there. We have another individual via the WhatsApp is saying, good morning. I observed that the adjusted minimum wages does not have a section under caregivers for the physically challenged. Is it because the previous figures were just adjusted so as an oversight of addressing the need for this service? I know that the government is having conversation on this neglected population. I would like to know what's the wage provided for them. Well, I'm assuming when soon as that negotiation ends, we will certainly hear more about that. Let's take another caller before we continue. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
And to your followers. Just a couple of things quickly. I'm hearing a number of people criticizing the Governor General for the throne speech. We do not seem to understand that the Governor General has nothing to do with the contents of that speech. It's normally, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm listening to you. Okay. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that speech is an amalgamation of inputs from all different departments and ministries. And then it's cleaned up and, probably finalized by one person so that it reads, in a coherent way. But it's nothing to do with the Governor General, and I don't know if the Governor General has, unless she has she takes real offense with something that's said, probably which affects her personally. I don't know that she could tamper with the speech and change it or anything of that sort. So when people say that she should know better and she's saying this and she's saying that, it's not she's saying it. She's just reading what is.
Yeah, because if you notice during of course the opening, the information was presented to her by the Prime Minister.
Absolutely.
And she read it. All right.
And as Governor General, every government is her government.
So true.
So when she says my government, whether it is NMP that's there or if it's the JBC or whatever it is her government because she is the head of state.
All right.
Now, one thing I also wanted to clarify was the whole matter of the response by the opposition leader to the claim that there was no records of the oil and gas. Mm-hmm. And he tried to confuse it, and he has succeeded in confusing many people. Because he's trying to make it broad, out of context. But we all know that for many years we've been talking about oil and gas exploration. The NDC in the past had even done that line which they drew with Trinidad and all this sort of things. But what the Prime Minister was talking about was nothing to do with these historical things. He was referring to that promise, that specific promise that was made on the eve of elections in 2018. When the then Prime Minister and leader of the party said that they had found one well and there are several others, which was much more promising, and we're going to be awash with oil and all those things. So whatever the Prime Minister said has to be couched in that context. So I think it's very deceitful and disingenuous for the opposition leader to say, they know about this thing. What is it? They didn't know about it. Past NDC governments were involved. No, we're talking about that window. From the time that statement was made, that great promise, that hope was given. What is there on the books? What has been passed on about those 7 or 8 wells? So those who are talking and saying, they obviously are hoodwinked and they are confused, deliberately so, by the opposition leader. But the context is, since that promise was made, what have you passed on so that the new government can take it from there and go with it?
All right.
And from what we've heard, little or nothing of that has has been passed on. And I think this is a fact.
But I always taken aback by the little or nothing. Is there's no information or there's little information? Little information.
You can't ignore the little.
Yeah. So little, which means little, there are some information there, but nothing
little,
substantial.
Nothing that you can really go by. Nothing of consequence.
All right.
That's what it means.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of To The Point this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I have a message for the Ministry of Finance. Government public workers have received their 4% increase for the year 2023. Pensioners, government pensioners are also eligible for this 4% increase. Until now, we are in the month of September, and this 4% increase for government public servant pensioners have not been given. I'm asking the Ministry of Finance, be considerate. Pensioners need the 4% just as the public workers. Thank you very much.
Thank you also, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line this morning here on To The Point. Feel free to give me that call, express your views, your concerns, or you may have a comment you would like to make. Feel free to do so. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning to you and welcome.
Morning, GT, and how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you this morning?
I'm doing so well, but I want to make a little complaint about Nawasa. Nawasa people just taking money from people who they pay bills already, they not pay the bill, they can't pay the bill. I go to Nawasa before the end of September, I'm still there. I pay my bills early at the end of each month. Whatever money I have, I pay bills. I don't eat food without paying bills. When the bills finish paid, then the time I look for something to eat. I go to Nawasa, months I go, I pay every time. When I go, I went in August, June, July, I go down up to August. I ask them, how much do I owe? The bill is not ready, I owe nothing. I go in back and say, okay, take something on it. I give them half of the money. No, the money I usually pay $30. I'm giving it to them. I say, take that in advance. The next one I go back, I ask them for the bill again. It's not ready, but I pay in advance. I keep paying and give them only all the time.
So you never get a hint of what the previous month was?
The previous to start with, every month I go, I give them something. I will call it from June 1, go right back on to August.
So you have never found, if you go to pay in June, you never found out what May bill was exactly before you?
I just take my bills home. Every time I go to pay.
So when you check the bill at home, what was did it say how much you're owing, if there was an arrears or anything of the sort?
It's only telling you pay this and you don't know nothing. You just pay in advance bill. I keep paying in advance. When I go in 1 month, I pay them. They say
I don't know. Something doesn't sound right in terms of how you are bringing it across. But I don't know. Someone maybe need to help you look into the bill and make sure. And there's an app that Nawasa has now. Also, probably you can get it on your phone, and which gives you an update of what your bill is on a monthly basis. Have you tried getting the app installed by a relative or something of the sort?
But they keep telling you that the bill you pay is for the month before. You pay again is for the month before. The last one I go, I pay them $60. My $5 I give them everything one time. I went back now when the end of going to September. I give them money again. They tell me, when I go ask the bill, they tell me I have $200 for them. I say, where I get this money? How do I owe you all this money? When I keep paying every month, I pay something on the bill. And they keep telling me, now some must understand. Poor people are like old people, and them shouldn't be paying our bill at this all the time anymore. Because people paying bill, and everyone on the set while getting the water they have to get. Yes, water is essential. We have to use water. But if we keep paying for it, why keep stealing from them, telling them they pay?
Well, I don't think you should say they're stealing, Auntie. I don't think you should say they're stealing. You probably need to go into there probably is an inquiry. Of course, agent, they go in and have a conversation with them and get some clarification on the bill.
GT, I went into the inquiry, and they tell me it's for the month before I pay. So I don't understand how I'm paying this bill, so I just leave it at that. And when they tell me I have $180 something, so almost $200, I give them $50 on a month. Then I go,
so that's where the problem comes in there. If you paid $50, you probably still have a res coming on the month before.
I will have to wait until the end of the month when they send a bill for me to pay. I'm not giving no advance money again. And the second thing I will tell you, DT, my next comment on my point this morning. Grenada, what's happening in Grenada with the pavement? There is no pavement pavement to walk in town again, you know, GT. No pavement at all. Everywhere you go to walk is a pavement people selling there. There is a store right next to the Gatins Pharmacist. And they have a whole big long tray there. You could barely walk and they say, you're walking in the drain. I say, I can't walk in the drain here for me to walk. You know the dirty words. That's what you get in. The people on the pavement, they have no respect for elderly, not for farmers, nor children, nobody to walk the pavement. They take the whole pavement, you must walk in the street where the vehicles are. You cannot walk with vehicles because they will knock you down. Vehicles don't look for people, you know. You have to look out for them. If you don't look for them, they will kill you. People driving and don't know what it is. They don't look out for people who walk in the street.
All right, Auntie. All right, Auntie. Don't worry about it. It will be taken care of sometime soon. All right. Have a good morning.
GT, you must let me say a little thing, you know. Okay,
but I can't. You already been over 2.5 minutes, and I'm trying to keep the given information. Don't worry about it, Auntie. Have a good morning. 435-2041. 435. Let's not get into the unnecessary talk this morning. Let's take some information from someone via the WhatsApp this morning. The caller who talked about minimum wage should resort to his first wage, and then he will realize how important it is to increase wages. It happens in all countries. Let's take another comment here once again. What this individual is saying: I received my 4% increase as a pensioner on my salary from September of 2023. The caller may wish to consider checking the treasury on that. All right, let's take another caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome. The treasury on that. Caller, good morning. And you may have to lower your radio in the background if you wish to continue. If once your radio is that loud, I will not accommodate the call. Please lower the radio or whatever device or television, whatever you have in the background. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, sorry for calling back. This last caller about the pedestrian and the sidewalk. This is scandalous. And governments go, governments come, it's the same thing. I don't see a difficulty in removing the peddlers on the sidewalk because they're obstructing. For instance, I find difficulty walking on the sidewalk in St. George's. So the government has to do something, and it can be done easily. Within 24 hours, they can be removed and stopped. The next problem I have is the noise syndrome in vehicles, and it's becoming worse and worse and worse. Some vehicles pass, even with obscenities, blasting, bombing down the place. This is unhealthy. It smacks lawlessness in the country, and I'm asking the government, they can do something about that. They can do something about it, and they can do it quickly. Don't put off. It's time we do something straightforward. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution also. 435-2041. And we have something via the WhatsApp is saying, what the man is saying about pension is true. As a pensioner, we need that money even more than ever. But we had one individual say in September she did receive that 4%. So probably there's some inquiry needs to be made thereby who may not have received. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
So allow me to speak, please.
Go right ahead, please, caller.
Yes, I have to say, what I have to say, Miss Jacinta Mason, please stop going around and calling my name. You already make the people...
Caller, I think this conversation may not be for the radio purposes. That seemed to be of a personal nature. Let's not continue that. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
I agree with the caller on the noise pollution.
Yes.
Because especially in the villages, that they think that police is not there, and 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, loud music, and the window is shaking, the door is shaking when they're passing with that noise.
All right. Certainly understand you, caller, and I'm also concerned about that as an individual myself. It happens time to time in my area where an individual will play music, at wee hours of the morning, and it's like they do not care about, that there are individuals living in a certain area and will just pass and blast their music and actually stop sometimes in front of your house and just turn it up. I wonder what's the purpose of that sometimes. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, I just want to mention again that Eastern Main Road. I don't know if you know the area, Marquis, Mount Philly. There's a bridge there.
Not too familiar.
That for years there's a broken part of the road just before the bridge, and I cannot tell you on which, whether I'm more scared, whether I'm in a vehicle or as a pedestrian, and I don't know, because it was there before the administration changed, and I'm saying that at least they could have put a mark there to get people more aware, so that because it narrows the bridge, and that's as you enter in the bridge, it will be real sad for somebody to lose their life. And I don't know, the road is commuted by ministers every day. I hope they do something before someone loses their life.
And you say that area again is where you say that?
Mackay Monksili, that's on the Eastern Main Road.
Mackay Monksili. All right. Yeah. All right, caller. Thank you for sharing the information. 435-2041. 435. We could probably accommodate this caller before we take the break. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I just want to draw a reference. Allergies. This is the allergy season all through the year, but some people need to tone down the perfume on the buses. So can you please?
I haven't had a good laugh in a long time. Thank you, caller. Have a good morning. Have a good morning. That's funny stuff. Anyway, let's take a break. We coming right back. Don't touch it out.
Discover a way to...
The box we say, yeah. GBN we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box we say, I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday. It's a
Mr. Mentioned the wing high, then you have things like manual must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. You still see, I still do have that smile on my face. That last caller really did crack me up. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, bro. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Go right ahead, please.
This morning I made a point on an innocent program, and somebody took me to task. They said, it's not the government. I wasn't referring to the government, right? Because when I made my statement, I said that FIFA charged Grenada. My figures was wrong. He said about $2,000, and he was correct. Because the field was not up to standard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you ask the question why? This is our national stadium. You know, to standard. I remember going there at a bingo, and I was surprised that we had bingo on the field itself. Even me, as a person that played the bingo, was like, wow. And the person who hosted the bingo was like over and over telling the people, put the garbage in the bag. I heard that over and over. But we know our people already. We know what take place already. So in the first place, we don't bring them there. Now, you ask the question again, why would somebody call back and say it's not the government? I'm not political, brother. When I come on this program here to make a point, it's a national issue. I'm not carrying water for no political party. Right? Now, FIFA, now the Grenada Football Association, they rent the stadium, right? By renting the stadium, FIFA might charge them, but the stadium have to pay because the stadium was not up to standard. So that's that bill going back to the government, right? Now, the Football Association pay, now, when you had the American game, I think they pay over $20,000 just to use the stadium. So not like you say they're not getting money. So we don't have to put all kind of like a thing on the puppy show and spell the ground. We can keep the ground perfectly for games, have Wagiti football competition coming up. We have Jamaica game, and we have enough for the games. So we shouldn't spoil our national playing field. We should keep it up to a certain standard. There's other areas we could have the bingos and the this and the that, but let's keep our field perfect. So when we have games, we can get good ratings. Simple as that. I'm not here to be talking politics and everything for Grenadians right now is politics. And they want to brand you like use this and use that. I'm not carrying water for no mule.
All right, caller. All right.
If you're carrying water, brother, that's your business. I'm not in that business. Who want to hire me? I'm for sale.
Thank you for your contribution. Have you a good one yourself. 435-2041. Let's grab some of the comments from the Facebook page before we do entertain another caller. And we have Ms. Phyllis Charles via the Facebook page is saying, good morning, host. Before the government makes public the new minimum wage, all consultations with the stakeholders should be done. Does the private sector would be in agreement with the final payment of the work wage? However, because government publish what the wages should be before they met with the employees, it can result in workers being laid off. The cost of production of goods and services have increased, which will be an added cost to the employee. And yes, let's entertain another caller there. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I just want to, some time ago I called and I talked about something about getting the Bible back in schools. And somebody who commented, I think, on whichever platform they were, that if the child is a Muslim and the child going to school, blah, 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 they don't want the child to be exposed to the Bible, maybe. I want to quote a verse in Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. And it says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So Muslims need to be saved, Hindu need to be saved, Buddhists need to be saved, because these are all religions. But God is not concerned about your religion, He's concerned about your soul. And He sent His Son into the world to die for that soul. And He says there is no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So the Bible, God's manual for humanity, He created man, and His manual for humanity is the Bible. Whether we want it, believe it, hate it, whatever it is, cannot change the fact that God made man. He created us. We were not evolved. We were created by God. Every time somebody gives everything that God creates, reproduce after its kind. Human creates human. Although they're trying to change it into something else, it cannot be changed, no matter what designation they might give. So I want people to realize, regardless of what religion you are, God is not concerned about that. He's concerned about your soul that is perishable, and He do not want it to perish. It says, except you repent, you will all likewise perish.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, have a blessed day.
You too. 445-2041, 445-2041. We're going back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Morning, Judy.
Good morning to you, sir.
Well, I can't speak on radio that well, but I do have a comment to be made. I want to find out who is responsible for every aspect of politics. All right, we have the upper and lower house. They make decisions, right? But who is it looking over that? Anybody regulate politics? Is it CARICOM or the United Nations speak on our behalf when we make foolish decisions? I say this to say that. Let's look at Lackaloo. They have a project there. It was an NDC project years ago. But to me, it was not completed, and they was asking the previous government to repair. But like they was not doing it. Because to me personally, it was an NDC project. So to me, NNP didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Is it because of this? Then you have the River Road project. Is at a standstill as a retaliation. You have Redmond Bridge. how much months now? It just held up because it was an NNP project. You have the housing project in Certes, it is a standstill, and a lot of other projects. And in Claboni, that road started very well, but now everything held up. Is it because of a retaliation that they are waiting for the NNP to come back to finish their project? To me, this is what's going on, brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. 435-2041, open line this morning, which means you listeners and viewers have the option of calling in, share your views and concern, and also you can, of course, share your opinion. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir. Go right ahead, please.
Good morning, sir. It seems to me that everyone in Grenada, including myself, have a tendency to believe what he or she says are facts, and they cannot make a mistake. And some people do not want to be corrected. Now, to every time I listen, I'm hearing that people have a tendency to believe that because somebody is working in a particular field, the person is a little god, and they believe all what they say is truth. For example, some people are asking, I think journalistic people, to get information, and when they get the information, they supply it to the people, and all what they say seems to be truth. And all what they have a tendency, to believe that maybe some of the journalists, some, maybe I don't include you, but some, have a tendency to believe that they have the right, or all what they say is gospel truth. But I do not have that concept about some of them. Because just as how I could make a mistake, they could make mistake, and they often make mistakes. And I want to clear you on that. Journalists are not little grown gods, as some of them think to believe. And they have the end product for every single question or every single idea put forth by the public, people like me and others, and Rolo and others. Anyhow, that's what I want to say. It's time that they clear up the act and realize that they are not omnipotent. And in fact, some of them try to do things that would try to embarrass some of the callers and say they don't know, they even cut them off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. 13 minutes moving up before the top 10. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, sir, I wasn't able to accommodate your call. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to say that, okay, they clean up the Lagoon Road, the Granites area very nicely. And the tongue of St. George is in a mess. You cannot walk on the sidewalk. You have to walk in the road, especially by the old NIS going down there. All in front of Foodlands. All going up by Halifax Street, by Hills and Valley there. I am saying is that they need to tidy up the tongue. The market is empty. Everybody flocking by the roadsides, right? So they need to do something. Just how they tidy up the south, they need to tidy up the tongue of St. George. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome, and good morning.
Good morning, boss. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Yeah. Something I want to question. Is it when a man uses often language in the street, and he could be charged?
Well, if it's deemed offensive to individuals who was around him, I'm no one that is too into the law and stuff like that. But if it's offensive to the one or the police is there and it's deemed offensive, they could probably have a charges brought against you for.
Yeah, well, because what I see now, if a man uses obscene language in the meet of police, he could be charged. Mm-hmm. But right about now, I find it's okay that a man could put his music
driving through the tongue in front of police or not, the volume to the max and the serious obscene language is rattling off family system. I don't know if that's not an offense as well. That's my point.
If I'm right, a couple of months ago, I did have a police officer in with us from the Community Relations Department, and they did speak about that in terms of the music, and if the song that is played deemed offensive to you, you could also have it reported, and some charges could be brought against individual. I stand to be corrected.
I see the vehicle passing through Grenville, and with the volume that you could hear that from a distance, and the obscenity ringing out like nothing. And I mean, I don't
think it's a test only. It's all over. It's all over. It's becoming a problem. And it seems like it's no problem for individuals who are doing it. Thank you for your contribution this morning, sir.
One more point. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah. Next thing again, at night, I find them vehicle owners. Even though they pack up, they have the light on. They drive in, they have the high beam on. And I find the police should look into that and see what could be come out from that. Because the light is not to disturb other people, but light is for you to see where you're going. That's my point I'm making.
Thank you so much. And let's take some comments from the Facebook page this morning. Lots of comments, of course, been thrown out. And let's take this one from Antonio. Call it a project in the Sates is not really on hold, but the people from the Breakwater area don't want to move to the villa, and they want to be given a piece of land or monies for the land that's been damaged by the seawater. Okay, health-wise, perfume on buses for some people have asthma and different allergies. Let's not go through that anymore. One of my big concerns is the public roads are used as a parking garage for vehicles. Yes, that's another contribution. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome. Lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let me check the WhatsApp, see if there's any comment there that needs to be thrown out. And we have someone on WhatsApp is saying, good morning. I would like to see stores upgrade and paint and look pleasant. We look like we in a primitive nation. That's a comment from someone on the Facebook. Still don't understand where they go with that anyway. But caller, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you, sir.
Just briefly, I beg your indulgences.
Go right ahead.
I want to echo the call of the brothers and sisters who have commented today on matters related to mobility on our sidewalks in St. George's, the capital. This is a major problem. But you know something that is frightening, and Grenadians should know that? The police has been instructed, the hierarchy of the police, not to remove the people. And it was done in the previous administration. Yes. Politicians give instructions to the police. I was stunned to hear that, but it came from one of the mouths of a senior official. And I ask myself, therefore, if the current administration will continue with this. Because what they're in fact doing is violating the rights of mobility and accessibility to the common man, and worse yet, to people with disabilities. I suffer. For that reason, I despise no going into St. George's. But I have my business to do from time to time. I have to do. They even tell me how my mother make me. Why I say how my blind, why I say all this happens in this here country, and the government of Grenada, this colonial government in Grenada, does nothing about it. But I'm happy that these things are being raised again. Another brother, just to end here, raised the issue. They see so many things happening and so on. Apparently nobody is doing anything about it. No, my brother, it's a system. That is why we have to understand that to get any changes in Grenada, we have to refound this nation. I talk about reconstituting it. Because the current colonial constitution, which has been duping us for 50 years, is useless. It was built and designed to maintain an aristocracy, and even the so-called Prime Minister admitted it, that we live in a caste system. You have money and you're in the class, you're all right. Other than that, quote-unquote, shitbag. It's unfortunate. You take a look at what's happening. You heard yesterday, day before, the so-called Governor General Beautiful speech thrown, speech mamagain people. Not a word on the matter related to people with disabilities. Not a word. It's now 15 years and 6 months and 4 months. 1, 2, 3, 4 years. 4 months. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities has been established for immediate application. Nothing. Take a look at it. They don't care. The system has not been designed to look after the people of this here country, and we have to change it. Start thinking, Grenadians. New constitution now. We demand for this so-called 50th celebrations, as I end here, that we get a referendum on the question: do you wish to continue to live under an imperial order and council of the King's most excellent majesty as subjects to a monarchy, or do you wish to write your own constitution through a constituent assembly? Think about it, Grenadians. Free yourself, emancipate yourself, liberate yourself once and for all. Done with colonialism now. Have a nice day, William. Mr. Tell us what's up.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041. And I have a comment here from someone on the WhatsApp. So they want to ask a question. So where are they going to put the people on the sidewalk? Remember, people have lives as well. Let them get somewhere to put them. That's what someone is saying, as blatant as they can this morning. Let's get another comment in here before we move on. I appreciate Ms. Jeremiah wanting to bring God into everything. Let's not continue on that. Let's take another call here. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir. We could solve a lot of this problem on the congestion of the sidewalk, All what one has to do is to bounce himself or herself on one of the trees and sue either the people on the sidewalk or possibly both the people on the sidewalk and the government. And then possibly the government would take action. But on the other hand, too, they won't give you the right judgment possibly in the court, because the government is responsible for helping to remove the people from the street. But they have to get a place to put them. I suggested a few years back that why not make it mandatory or they purchase this building that these people are saying that Huggins bought. That's the place where they park vehicles right by around the bank area, NIS building and so on. They have to relocate the people but they want the people to love them. Who don't want love? The government wants to give the people the idea that they love them, so they would have to leave them on the sidewalk, no place to put them. It's time that they build. Look at the old building where they say slaves used to pass up underneath the sea and come into the building that could kill people on the side or by the health center. They could renovate it and put an extension of the market there.
All right, sir. Thank you.
We have place to do them.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much. 435-20. We probably could accommodate one more caller before we wrap today's program. We have 2 minutes left. And let's accommodate this caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, GT. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
By day quiet. I just called to let you know with the concerning the heat.
Yes.
I make a little changes in the way how I do things. I have a little kitchen. I do breakfast and lunch.
Yes.
I decide to cut down 2 days because GT, the kitchen is big, and you be in this heat, and the one outside to deal with is too much stress on your body. So I just say, well, from this week, today I ain't cook. I make a little roti, so I take off all stove, everything already. So out of the heat in the kitchen, so I could deal with the one outside.
Okay.
So we can't change the heat, but we could change the way we do things. And I just want to show something for the busmen. You know, you have some old school bus. then have the air condition. I wonder if the people on the bus terminal can change the way they pick up passengers, where they're dropping out. Perhaps they could use that section there to pick up, because you spend a little 5-10 minutes for the bus to full, and this area open. But where they're collecting now, JT, I'm going to tell you, it's just only God what they and people sometime sitting in that bus, that heat, and some of the drivers and them, they want the full load. I don't have to disagree with them, but oh God, you must remember you passengers. I wonder if they're waiting until somebody's suffocating in the bus to ease up the amount of minutes we staying for the bus to full. So let us look and see what we could do. The open area where they're dropping out, the old school, put them there, because they spend more time there to full than going out. And the buses that have the air condition, they could treat us nice. You know, you lock up your bus, you look for your passengers, so you get a little coolie. You don't cool in for 5 hours, past 10 minutes is the most. And then when you drive out, you ask passengers to open the door. And let us see what we could do, because we don't know when this heat going to come to an end.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, folks, it's straight up 10 a.m. in the studios of Classic Radio at GBN TV. Thank all who contributed to today's program. Thank you so much. Those of you who called in, those of you who sent your messages via the WhatsApp, you commented via the Facebook page. Thank you so much for being part of the program this morning. Have yourself a great day. Be good to yourself and others. And that's why I say goodbye for today's edition of To The Point. Goodbye.